Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Josh Keatley, and every single day now, the Call of Duty Twitter account has been putting out bios of our four main zombie characters, Richtofen, Tank Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takeo. Now, instead of making a video on each bio, I wanted to wait till all four were released and then make a video. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first one they released on April 8th was of Tank Dempsey. He is an American soldier, American Marine, and it says Corporal Tank Dempsey is an American hero, originally assigned to intercept Dr. Edward Richtofen in northern France. Dempsey now fights alongside Nikolai, Takeo, and Richtofen as they attempt to put an end to the enemy war machine once and for all. Though he's seen more than his fair share of bloodshed, nothing could have prepared him for the events of Der Eisendrache. So Tank Dempsey is American Marine. He's a badass, an American hero, and it says that he was originally assigned to intercept Dr. Edward Richtofen in northern France. So if you think of the origins of zombies, it started off as Nazi zombies. The Nazis took place, tried to rule the world during World War II. So here was American Marine trying to stop an evil German scientist. While he was doing this on the origins map in northern France, he ran into Nikolai, Takeo as well, and Richtofen was there. And you remember the origins intro, it was the first time that they met each other. They all pointed their guns at each other, and then they all pointed their guns at Richtofen. You could tell right then and there that they all, three characters, had this goal of stopping Richtofen. But then you see the giant robots come and the zombies come out of nowhere, and they were forced to fight beside each other. And then you see in the giant, they still hate each other. They still talk shit, to Richtofen and about Richtofen. And it's not until Der Eisendrache when they finally come together, they finally have the same goal, which is put an end to the enemy war machine once and for all. Now, everybody still really has their own same agenda. You notice Tank Dempsey is the only one that talks about the war machine. And there's a lot of crazy speculation of what the war machine is. A lot of people say the big giant robots. And if you look up Nazi war machine, there's many books about it, many movies. Nazi war machine is just all the advanced technology that the Nazis had. Some of the amazing planes, jets that they had, the U-boats, the battleships, some of the anti-aircraft guns that they had, the Panzer Mk1 and 2, which isn't the Panzer, from the zombies. The Panzer is a tank. So that is the war machine. It just means the Nazis, the Germans, advanced technology, which is the giant robots. The giant robots is a huge advanced technology, but that's just a tiny bit of what he's talking about, trying to stop the Nazis in general, the Nazi war machine. Now that they're all working together, I think they all do have the same goal of ending everything bad that's going on, the zombies, the giant robots, all this chaos that is destroying in certain universe, blowing up the entire earth, stopping everything. But Tank is really stuck on, still stopping the Germans. He feels like if he stops the Germans, he's gonna solve everything. And at the end there, it says nothing could have prepared him for the events of Der Eisendrache. And there it's talking about where he's seen, Tank 1.0 was strapped to a rocket going to the moon. They knocked it down, doing the Easter egg, and they put Tank 1.0 soul inside the summoning key. Now let's go ahead and get to my favorite zombies character, Edward Richtofen. And Call of Duty tweeted out April 9th, with the summoning key in hand, Richtofen has set the Origins team on a dangerous new path. Hashtag Black Ops 3 Eclipse. Now in the DLC 2 intro cutscene, the summoning key plays a huge part, and you see that Richtofen is kind of in control of the team. He's telling them where to go, what they need to do, and he's taking them down a dangerous new path. We've seen the Japanese officers and soldiers, have them on a ship where they are captured by the Japanese. Then they're going to the island where we're gonna see Division 9. What waits at that island for us? A very dangerous path that they're talking about, that Edward Richtofen is taking the group down. In the bio, nationality is German, affiliation is Group 935. And it says, in a former life, the sadistic Dr. Edward Richtofen stood on the forefront of research into the mysterious element 115 and its potential application operations for Group 935's Wonder Weapon program. Now his grand plans for a brave new world guide him down a dangerous path towards an uncertain future. So what's really interesting about this bio is it's saying in a former life, the whole zombie storyline, as parallel universes. They're in a completely different universe from the original characters. And it's saying that the old Richtofen, the Richtofen 1.0, was a sadistic, evil scientist who, trapped Maxis and Samantha in the teleporter, who, switched spots with Samantha on the moon, who blew up the earth, was just a really crazy, out of control guy. He was on the forefront of research into the mysterious element 115, and that's where, him and Max is working on a bunch of different things for the Germans. Once again, the war machine, working on special wonder weapons, helping out 935, helping out the Nazi Germany. But then it says, now his grand plans for a brave new world guide him down a dangerous path. So it's basically saying Richtofen was evil before, but now he has plans basically to change everything. He's on a new path to fix everything. And so it seems so far. Is Richtofen a completely different guy? So far it's seeming that way. So I think that's really, really cool in the zombie storyline that, we started off, Richtofen was this really, really evil guy, and now we have this newer, softer Richtofen who, wants to help save the world. And I think that's very cool. Richtofen is my favorite character. This makes me like him anymore. This new Richtofen that, is trying to save the world. He's trying to be a hero now. Very awesome. Now let's go ahead and move on to one of everybody's favorite zombie characters, Nikolai. And let me know down in the comments who your favorite zombie character is. On April 10th, Call of Duty tweeted out, Nikolai has come this far, but will he be able to survive the perils of Setsubu no Shima? Hashtag Black Ops 3 Eclipse. And Nikolai's real name is Nikolai Belinski. Nationality Russian. Affiliation the Red Army. It says, forgotten and abandoned in the front lines of Europe, Red Army Sergeant Nikolai Belinski has learned to survive and endure even in the darkest of times. His loyalty to the motherland has seen him battle his own demons, overcoming personal trials that few have ever truly understood. Now, there's really not too much to say about this bio. We did also get a memory segment on Nikolai about a month or two ago. The link will be down in the description if you want to watch that video. That was really cool. It explains more about Nikolai, a lot more than this bio. So it just says that he was forgotten and abandoned on the front lines of Europe. He learned to survive and endure even during the darkest times. His loyalty to the motherland. He's always talking about the motherland. And in his memory video that he showed, it shows his home a lot. He's talking about how he wants to go home. And I think that's one of his main reasons to, continue fighting this is because he does want everything to get back to normal so that he can go home. He's talking about going back to the motherland. And it says the motherland has seen him battle his own demons, overcoming personal trials that few have ever truly understood. Now, understanding Nikolai, we've seen in World at War and Black Ops 1, he was a huge drunk. He always talked about his vodka. He talks about his many different wives. What happened, with his family, his wives, what happened that he became a drunk. But see, in Black Ops 2, he talked a little less about vodka. In Black Ops 3, he barely mentions alcohol at all. So he definitely changed and says, overcoming personal trials that few have ever truly understood. So that's something very neat about Nikolai is, what did he go through? What caused him to become an alcoholic? How did he overcome that? And this new Nikolai, in Black Ops 3 is definitely different than the drunk, vodka-loving Nikolai that we've seen at World of War and Black Ops 1. I think there's a much bigger story behind Nikolai, and we haven't seen it yet. Maybe DLC 3 or DLC 4, it's going to introduce him more and get into his character a lot more. I can't wait to see that. And finally, let's take a look at the bio that Call of Duty tweeted out today, April 11th. They said, what's in store for Takeo as the Origins heroes head into Setsubu no Shima? Find out in hashtag Black Ops 3 Eclipse. And we already know from the intro cutscene that DLC 2 is going to be all about Takeo. That's the person that we're probably going to be seeing the old Takeo 1.0 going tapping into the summoning key, which would mean that Takeo 1.0 has already been on DLC 2 Island. But let's go ahead and get in the bio here. His full name is Takeo Masaki. Nationality is Japan. Nationality is Japanese. Affiliation Imperial Japanese Army. And it says, in the bio states, Captain Takeo Masaki comes from a noble family that has dutifully served the Emperor for decades. After the events of Der Eisendrache, Takeo's unwavering sense of loyalty will be tested as he fights alongside Tank, Nikolai, and Richtofen in their quest to secure a better tomorrow. To start off, I think it's really interesting that, it talks a little bit about Takeo's family, and it says Captain Takeo. So not only was he just a soldier, he was a captain. He had a little more rank than a regular soldier. He comes from a noble family. Now, something really funny talking about Takeo's family. There was a bio all the way back from, I believe it was World at War or Black Ops 1, where it talks a little more about Takeo, and it says, our hero was born into wealth. His family dynasty dates back several centuries, and throughout the time they have been highly decorated samurai and bushido. Well, Takeo is no exception to this celebrated bloodline. Even when the family first saw the young, life-filled 5-year-old Takeo playing in the street with his katana and slicing the tails of terrified kittens. Takeo sliced the tails of terrified kittens. What the hell? That's hilarious. It was obvious he was destined to bring honor to the Masaki name. So Masaki's family has been, very honorable, samurai and bushido warriors, and they have been serving the emperor for a very long time. Then it says after the event of Der Eisendrache. So everyone knows what happens in Der Eisendrache. The group came together a lot stronger. They're actually working towards this main goal, with Richtofen to help save the world. It says Takeo's unwavering sense of loyalty, talking about, to the Emperor, will be tested as he fights alongside Tank, Nikolai, and Richtofen. So, he's been pretty loyal to the Emperor, and we see this a lot in Origins and Der Eisendrache. There's actually secret letters that's around the map, hidden deciphers, and these letters are Takeo writing to the Emperor. There's some really interesting stuff in there. I'm going to put a link down in the description if you want to check out those letters for yourself, see what Takeo has to say. He does mention Division 9 on one of the Der Eisendrache letters, talking about how Division 9 used prisoners of war for living body tests, and they're trying to control supernatural powers, element 115, all types of neat stuff. Check that out down in the description if you want to read the whole letter. So Takeo's basically been a spy this whole time, serving under the Emperor, and you see in the intro to DLC 2 them trying to call him out, say that he's a traitor, and Takeo's like, no, I serve the Emperor. The Emperor sent me to do this. The Emperor sent me to be a spy, and probably for really good reasons. We can see some of the group 935, just some of the evil, bad stuff that they, were doing in Der Eisendrache. As a result, in another universe, the Earth blew up, and they helped the Germans, build wonder weapons. They created the war machine, group 935 did. So then we're gonna see more in DLC 2 what Division 9 is about, and Division 9 seems just as evil. Now the scientists necessarily aren't evil, they're doing scientific things. It's the people behind it that make it evil, so I can't wait for DLC 2 to see what Division 9 is up to. And with that, reading the statement, Takeo's unwavering sense of loyalty will be tested. So here he has a tight bond with Tank, Nikolai, and Richtofen. They're out to save the world, so it sounds like it is going to be tested. So far he's been really loyal to the Emperor, but is there going to be something DLC 2 that he's going to have to make decisions on and go against what the Emperor wants on the quest to secure a better tomorrow? And I saved that line for the very end. Is that something that Richtofen said at the end of the giant cutscene? Was everything I do to secure a better tomorrow. A really interesting line. And this line here is the line that kind of puts all of them together in the same boat, now under Aizen. They're on the same page to secure a better tomorrow. They're all four trying to save the Earth, whether that's stop the German war machine, stop Division 9, stop Group 935. And speaking of that, in Der Eisendrache, in Der Eisendrache, Dr. Groff calls out Richtofen, calls him a traitor. So is there going to be something like this on DLC 29 where Division 9 calls Takeo a traitor? I mean, we already seen that in the intro cutscene, but is there going to be more that we're going to see? I believe so. I can't wait to see what happens in DLC 2. It's going to be very exciting. And that is all I got for you guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you do press that like button. If you have anything that you want to talk about, any questions you want me to answer, I would love to talk about that. I would love to answer it for you. Definitely leave any thoughts, opinions down in the comments. I do appreciate you guys watching this video so much. I want to thank you, and you have a great day today.